Talk to you about the Five Kingdom series by Brandon Mull. In particular, the final book in the series, Time Jumpers. And the reason I'm doing the whole series all at once is because I started listening to this series a few years ago, and it's one of those series that is so good that once you get as far as the author's gotten, you sit and you wait for the next book in the series to come out. Well, I'd gotten through the first 4 books before I even started on my YouTube channel. And then the 5th book just came out. I pre-ordered it, got it, listened to it, and rather than going back and doing one book at a time from the very beginning, I'm just going to go with the final book and a summary of the entire series. Before I get started on that, though, if you're an audiobook fan, even a book fan, subscribe to my channel, please. Turn on notifications. Join me in my audiobook journey. Now, this is I don't even want to say young adult series. It's actually maybe a preteen series, I would say, even a young kids series. But it's one of those that's good enough that adults will enjoy it. So it's one of those you can get put on long trips with the family and have the entire family enjoy this series. Brandon Mull has created this wonderful world, and it's kind of 2 worlds. So you have Earth as we know it. Nothing unique, nothing different about the Earth that we live in. But then there's a land of the 5 kingdoms, and in that kingdom there are people known as wayfinders. And wayfinders can open up portals to our world where slavers can come through, trick our kids, kidnap our kids, and bring them back. Once our kids are kidnapped and taken to the 5 kingdoms, they disappear from our memories. If we look at a photo of them, like a family photo, we won't see them. We'll see the rest of the family. We walk past their room and don't even open the door. It's like the room doesn't exist. They literally disappear from existence on our Earth. It's not that they fade out of the picture. It's not that their room disappears. It just fades from our sight, and they fade from our memory. So the family doesn't wander around going, oh my gosh, there's all these kids being kidnapped, whatever. Once you get to the 5 kingdoms, supposedly you can't come back. And even if you do come back, it will just be a short time before you'll be drawn back into the 5 kingdoms. So we have our hero. It's Halloween, and he's out with friends, and they go to this haunted house, and it's not really all that scary of a haunted house. This is the first book. It's kind of a weird haunted house. They go down below, and his friends get kidnapped. He actually escapes and has a chance to escape and run for freedom. He thinks they're escaping into the sewer system. But he realizes that if they escape into the sewer system, then they could come out anywhere, and nobody would know. So he goes down after them. He follows them all the way into the 5 kingdoms, where he determines to rescue them. Instead of rescuing them, he gets captured, and he gets turned into a slave. And then you're introduced to the first kingdom in the 5 kingdom. Now, the 5 kingdoms is a magical place with 5 separate styles of magic. And each kingdom has its own style of magic. They're ruled by one king, but they're called kingdoms for whatever reason. They have rulers in the kingdom, but then they have one like High King. And each kingdom has its own unique power. And that power only works in that kingdom. So if you can operate that power, you can only operate that power in that kingdom. When you leave, you lose the ability. You lose the connection with your power. Now, the king had 5 daughters. Each daughter had access to a separate power, and each daughter's power was greater than anyone else's. Well, when they were little, the king tore their powers away from them and tried to kill them, only they escaped and went into hiding. And now it's been decades, but because he took their powers from them, they've never aged. Their mom's kind of gone into hiding, and our hero, I'm trying to remember his name, and for some reason his name is slipping me. I finished the book yesterday. Let you know how old I'm getting that I can't remember his name from yesterday to today. But there you go. And he gets captured, turned into a slave, and sold to the Sky Raiders. That's the first book. Now the Sky Raiders, there's this chasm where these castles that seem to be made up of someone's dreams float across, and the Sky Raiders can float across and invade the castles and get whatever treasures they find. It's a very risky job. They die very quickly. They die very young, so they use slaves to go in there, and he gets captured, turned into a slave. He meets one of the princesses. At the end of the book, he helps the princess get her power back. He helps her escape. Second book, they're in another kingdom. And it goes like that from book to book. Each kingdom, he meets a separate princess. He helps that princess get her powers back. Along the way, he discovers that prior to what they originally thought, they thought he was powerless, that he had no powers whatsoever. He actually has great power. He has the power to activate anyone else's power no matter which kingdom they're in. So for instance, a wayfinder. A wayfinder can build a waypoint from their kingdom, which is the final book, to anywhere. But once they're there, they can only come back to their kingdom. They can't go from one kingdom to another kingdom. Their power will only bring them back to their kingdom. Well, what he can do is he can activate a wayfinder, and they can jump to any kingdom they want to go to from any kingdom. If you've got someone whose job is to create artifacts, and that's their magic from the kingdom that they're in, he can activate that ability within them no matter where they are, whichever kingdom. And he can not just activate their ability, he can multiply their power and their ability no matter what kingdom they're in. Well, as you can tell, the gist of the story goes to where, leading up to the final one, he's liberated 4 daughters, there's 1 daughter left, and they want to liberate the kingdom from the evil tyrant. And there's 2 demons that, when this 5 kingdoms was created, I don't know that I fully get that part, but the 5 kingdoms was created, and they know the creators who created it. And when the creators created it, they brought these demons in from another realm that accidentally got there, and they managed to imprison the 2 demons. But if the demons get loose, they will destroy everything and rule everything. Well, in the 4th book, almost had his name there, our hero releases one of the demons. He traps it, releases it into a trap, but it's a temporary trap. Come to discover, the king isn't the true enemy. That demon is the true enemy. And so the final book is kind of this battle against that demon. And in the final book, it's called Time Jumpers because they're in the Wayfinder's kingdom. And the Wayfinders can not only open up waypoints to other kingdoms, but they can manipulate time. And he discovers that there's powerful wayfinders who have been living for centuries. And he goes back and he enlists their help. And he also discovers that there may be a way for him to get back home. He's been trying to locate and find all the children that were kidnapped with him. They battle the final demon. It does a really good job of making you feel like they've lost the battle until they win the battle. You get down to the final little bit of this book and you're thinking they're going to lose, so there's going to have to be another book. I thought this was going to be the final book. I'm going to have to wait even longer. Well, they actually do end up winning. It's kind of a surprise how they do it. Didn't come close to seeing it coming. They discover that there is actually a path where these kids can all get back home, and everything will return to normal. They won't be drawn back into the 5 kingdoms. However, they will lose all memory of the 5 kingdoms. They'll have no memories whatsoever of the 5 kingdoms. So he and his friends are left with a choice. Do they want to stay here in this magical land of the 5 kingdoms, where he in particular is this hero who has rescued everyone and they've made these wonderful, great friends? Or do they want to return home to their mom and their dad? And these are like 11, 12-year-old kids. I'm not going to tell you what their decision is. Listen to the book series. What I like the most about this book series is each book is so unique from the other. The first kingdom was this wonderfully unique, magical kingdom. And I remember when I got the second book, I was like, wow, how are they gonna make this different and not just have the second kingdom be like the first kingdom? Well, Brandon Mull managed to do that. The second kingdom is completely unique, totally magical. Same with the third, fourth, and fifth kingdom. None of them are remotely the same. They're all completely different. They're all unique, magical, wonderful places that you would love to go live. That the characters are really good, well done characters. The evil people aren't scary bad evil people. They're the kind of evil people that are very clearly evil and bad, but at the same time have kind of a likable quality to them. For the most part, most of them are that way. The powers of the girls, see, the reason the girls are able to get their powers back is because their dad's losing control over them, and so they're manifesting. They each manifest in different ways in each of the kingdoms. Each book is so uniquely different that you don't know what's coming book to book to book to book. It's designed for a younger audience, so of course there is no mature content in it whatsoever. Narrator kept the same narrator for all books. Good job on that one, and he's a wonderful narrator. Love the narration on these. It's a really good book series, especially if you're someone who has a wide diversity of age in your family. This would be a great book series. I've got a sister who's got 11 kids, so obviously they're anywhere from their 20s, down to 2-3 years old. This would be a book that she could put on as they were going down the road, completely safe, nothing offensive, and everyone, including her and her husband, would enjoy the book. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe, turn on notifications. Questions, comments, feedback, I welcome them. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, make sure that today you listen to at least one really good book. And today I have 5 recommendations. The 5 Kingdoms series by Brandon Mull. Thank you.